Hi, welcome to today's episode. My name is Eyramax. If today is your first time of watching this channel or coming across this channel, this is your number one channel that talks about business, that brings you about business information, how to start business, how to grow it, and how to expand it, sustain it, and bringing you opportunities in the business sector. And today, I'm bringing you something that is fascinating, something that has caught my attention. For the past few months now, I took the interest in understanding how to go into poultry farm. And there is this farm that I always visit when I'm free over the weekend. There was one time they evacuated the sawdust that they put in a pen for the droppings to mix with it so that it will not make the floor nasty. So over a period of 3 weeks, they do change it and put fresh sawdust inside. So at the end of the 3 weeks, they have to evacuate it and dispose it, or give it out or sell it out for the farmers to use it as a organic fertilizer. So they were not having much sack to bag it, so they decided to throw some away, and so that they could get more space or more sawdust, fresh sawdust in. But over a period of 3 months, somebody bought tomatoes and took the seed out and threw the seed away and used the fresh tomatoes, the flesh part, to prepare stew or whatever. But what is interesting about it is that the person poured the tomatoes close to where they poured the sawdust, or they packed the sawdust, and it has decayed for some time. And what caught my attention was how fruitful the tomatoes became. The tomatoes was quite big, greenish, and was very nice and attractive. So I took the interest to research more about it, and what I discovered was that it was the manure or the potty droppings that has mixed with the sawdust. It has broke the sawdust into smaller particles, and as it was there over a period of 3 months, the ammonium or the heat in it went out, and it was able to help the tomato to germinate, and it grew very nicely, and it was very nice and attractive. So I decided to walk around the farm, only to see more tomatoes that they've thrown away the seed, and it has germinated a lot. And over a period hobby farming comprises of livestock and vegetable farming. So you can basically choose to go into the livestock where you have poultry, which you could go into the local birds or the foreign birds. That's the chicken, turkey, guinea fowl, etc. The ducks, and you can just name them, all the various bird farming or poultry in short. And the other aspect is fish farming. Fish farming, it could be tilapia, shrimps, it could be cats, mudfish, or you could also go into the livestock. Normally when we say livestock, we referring to goats, sheep, cattle, etc. Then the second aspect of the hobby farming is the vegetable farming, where you could decide to use the small land space in front of your house, at the back of your house, for tomatoes, onion, ginger, pepper, garlic, eggs. You can just name them, those ingredients that you use when you are going to prepare stew or soup or any type of food you want to prepare. And don't forget the first aspect I spoke about, which is the animal part, which is the meat part. That's the poultry, fish, goat, or whatever. Those aspects is the meat aspect of our food, but the vegetable aspect is the one that we also need. They comprises the ingredients that we need in our food. Then we can also plant cassava and other stuff that we need. That's the carbohydrate aspect that we need to complete the food. So let's look at some benefits that you can get when you have a hobby farm. Depending on which aspect of the farm you want to, you could choose to go into all the aspect, that is the animal part and or the vegetable part. If you choose to go in for the vegetables, no problem. There's no problem with that. So let's look at the benefits you can get. So one, it can put food on your table for a family of 2 to 10 people. And 2, it can save you or lessen your financial pressure on your financial budget, maybe from $500 to $1,000 per year. So you can just calculate how much money you've been spending on your vegetables or your meat for preparing food for the family, and add it up for 1 year and see how much, if it is close to the $500 to the $1,000 on your groceries. And this depends on the size of the family. So that's an estimated amount I gave, but it's an average figure between $500 to $1,000 on your groceries. So the third aspect or the third benefit you can get from hobby farming is another source of income. This is a situation whereby maybe after the family has taken the portion of what they can consume, the rest it's advisable you sell it out to make some money. So it's another source of income, because you can't leave it down to go waste. So it's best you kind of sell it out to also have some financial benefits, or gives you some, or put some money into your pocket. Then the fourth aspect is hobby farm can be scaled up into a commercial farming with a big return on investment. So this one, if you scale it up into a commercial farming, meaning that is kind of huge and you might need machineries to help you. So basically, if you start so small like that and you see that apart from what the family is consuming, the market is becoming large or the demand in the market is becoming high, you can scale it up or invest into that small hobby farming and scale it up into a commercial farming where you can increase your production to be able to meet the demand. So if you're having small vegetables, you can increase it into a green production, or you can increase it into a large farm whereby you can meet the market demand. If it is beekeeping or fish farming, the small fish farm you have, or you have small poultry farm or local birds or whatever you have, you can also scale it up into a commercial farming. If it is a livestock, a small goat or 1 or 2 or 3 goats you have just to feed the family, you can also increase the quantity to meet a market demand. So, and if the farm becomes so big, the tools that you use maybe in the hobby farming may be these hand tools, but as long as it is increasing and it's becoming big, you have to probably invest into bigger assets like tractor, combine harvester, if that is when you are into rice farming and other types of crop that will require the combine harvester. So basically this is all about hobby farming, and trust me, that week we didn't spend money going to the market to go and buy tomatoes. We just use what we harvested in the bush over there close to the poultry farm that I visited. So I'm encouraging all of us to try our hands and use that land space at the back of our house, beside our house, in front of our house, to try cultivate something, because it can reduce your financial burden. Just put pen and paper to it and just calculate how much money you spend on your meat, on your vegetables, on the food that you've been putting on your table, and you could see that yes, if you have that small space of farm, it could also give you a relief on your finances. So thank you very much for listening and watching, and I would like you to do me a favor by sharing this video and invite your friends, subscribe to the channel if this is your first time, and leave a comment if you are already into this hobby farming. There is this interest that you have in doing some farming in front of your house, or maybe you have a ranch where you have some farm, or just tell me what crops you are into, and as well as tell me how much relief that it has given you on your finances. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Thank you.